But the sun looks really cool in the sky right now. I'll show you. Very eclipsey. Speaking of eclipsey, that sounds like a makeup website. Eclipsey. Buy your mascara at eclipsey.com. I am in a place where the eclipse barely even happened here. But I'll input the footage of the eclipse. Okay, I'm gonna figure out my hairstyle. Also, I've been coming and sitting at this spot for years in my car and my other car, but they're taking down the trees here, which just absolutely breaks my heart. Like, there's a whole construction crew over there, and you just see like there's like, it looks like there's a lot of trees around me, but this is half as much as there used to be. So I thought I would drive around. I feel like, okay, this is gonna be a little bit of like being all over the place, but I am a very like spiritual, witchy person, and I've been wanting to talk about this in my YouTube videos like extensively for a while. Like, personal thing for me, where it's like I've been hesitant to share it online before, but I have, just not to the extent that I'm going to. Like, I've made TikToks about it and it's gone semi-viral and people have asked me to make videos, so that's what I'm doing today. Today I'm going to talk about what my mediumship has taught me about the other side and what the other side is like. I just want to like preface this by saying every medium is completely different. Every medium has a different set of skill set, and every medium has a different opinion on what the other side is like. I don't really fully know what the other side is like. Like, I don't have that infinite knowledge that spirits do. So I'm just going to share some of the things that my late brother and other late family members have told me about the other side. I feel like this isn't far back enough. I don't know like where to sit to be far back enough. So if you want to know like my mediumship story and whatnot, I do have it posted on a channel called Tay and Woods. I'll link it in the description below. It's basically a shared channel that I have with my friend Taylor, who's also a medium, is also into paranormal stuff, and is also spiritual and witchy. And yeah, that was, I think, the second video ever posted on that channel, basically where I'm talking about like how I discovered that I can communicate with spirits, see spirits, interact with spirits, and people on the other side. I don't even know where to start because like as a medium I've had so many experiences. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do is put this flashlight in the back. Okay, cool. I've always been fascinated by the other side. I've always been fascinated by like the paranormal world. I've always been fascinated by things that like aren't deemed normal scientifically. Minimal experiences as a child. My mediumship awakening did happen more when I was an adult, which in the past I've been so ashamed of telling people because there's this like stigma around mediums being mediums since birth, which isn't accurate for everybody. And I felt ashamed of that in the past, which is so silly because there's literally nothing to be ashamed of. So yeah, when I was 19, my big brother passed away. But yeah, like finding out he passed was very traumatic. I won't get into that because that's a very personal experience for my family. And it's not, it's not my right to share their part of their story. So yeah, sorry, I'm just like waiting for that flashlight to go off. Days later, I'm noticing some activity going around in the house. I'm having like weird dreams about my brother, which is my brain trying to process his death. Other dreams I was having, dreams where my big brother would come in and tell me what it was like to die, what it was like to be on the other side, who was on the other side, like what the process is like of passing away. I didn't share that with anybody because people could easily say like, oh, that's your subconscious mind trying to process death, which very well could be, but that doesn't explain other things that I experienced. But before we get into the dreams, I will kind of explain things I was seeing and hearing that other people in my house were seeing and hearing. So lights started flickering on and off and on and off, specifically in the area where me and my little brother have our bedrooms. There's like 2 lights above the gaming area, like sconces on the wall, and they would just flicker and go crazy. And of course, we're like, whoa, wait a minute, is this Kyle? And no one in my family, except for my mom, really believes in paranormal stuff. But when you're thick in grief, it's almost like you do believe, because it's like, that's never happened before, and now it's happening right after a sudden loss. We would hear like people walking up the stairs in our house, and when my brother passed away, he wasn't living with us, but he had been in my parents' house before. Lights were flickering all the time for me, and I could just feel people around me like all the time. Even before my brother passed, I was psychic, but I hadn't typed into those abilities. I would be laying in bed and I would just feel people around me, and it was so weird because I didn't understand it and I didn't know what I was feeling, and I thought it was just this paranoia that I was feeling. It was crazy. And with all of that kind of activity going on in the house, I started to have these dreams where I would be sitting down in my car and I'd be dreaming that I was driving to one of the old houses that my mom and I lived in, and I'd look to my right and Kyle would be sitting in my car, and I would be like, Kyle, like, my older brother's name is Kyle, by the way. I would look to him and I'd be like, Kyle, like, you're dead, like, how are you here? In my dream, I would turn to him and I'd be like, how are you here? Like, you're dead. And he would say, if you want to see me like this when you're awake, you have the power to do so, which I have not figured out to this day. I have tried, but also I think my fear kind of holds me back from that. And I have seen him, but not like in the way that I would see a living person, just like a glimpse, what's that word? A glimpse, maybe, Sarah? I'd see like a glimpse of him and I'd be like, ooh, Kyle. But in the dream, he'd be like, if you want to see me sitting in the car right beside you, you have the power to do that. Like, that's in your control and your waking life. And I was like, you're lying, but I'll try. And I still haven't figured it out. But definitely fear holds us back from that. The human body, the human mind, definitely limits our psychic capabilities. He's definitely in the car right now. Kyle, can you turn on the flashlight? I know you haven't really done that before for me, so it's okay if not. I feel like he knows I would cry if he did that. Anyways, but that wasn't the first dream I ever had. One of the first dreams that I remember having, I don't even remember all that much. I think it was me and my mom and my little brother, and we were in this like abandoned old like creepy ass Victorian mansion, and all of a sudden Kyle appears and we're like, whoa, how are you here? And then an old friend from elementary appeared, and I'm like, oh yeah, like Kyle died. And then a random girl from an elementary that we both were in was there, and it was really weird. And I don't really remember what happened in that dream, but I remember that being the first dream I had with him. And it was like we were celebrating his funeral, but like random people were there. And over the years, I figured out like that was his way of telling me that our ancestors and the people that I haven't even met that have passed away are over on the other side, watching over him and protecting him. So that's one thing he's taught me about the other side. Like, there's more. While like it is just energy, like there's people that are always protecting and watching over him and us and people who haven't even passed yet. I mean, if you look at near-death experiences and watch those videos, he describes passing away just like most people do, where there's like a group of people on the other side helping him and like guiding us as alive people. Sorry, it's like I don't know how to explain this, but like, you know when there's a bunch of people in your car and it's like the air is heavy because it's like there's people in your car? That's how it feels right now. That'll help a little bit. But yeah, there's multiple spirits in here. Kyle's definitely here. There's a woman here, but I can't quite figure it out. Not related to her. Who are you? Can't quite figure out who she is. Like, if any of you have watched my recent video, my bio dad, who I wasn't really close with, just passed away, like, not that long ago, so it could be someone from his side. I don't remember, like, the specific order of dreams I had, but there was one dream I had where I was at my high school, which I haven't seen in years, and there's like this, have you ever seen on TikTok or like on YouTube those dog buses where like dogs get on the buses and it's like a transportation for doggies? I dreamt that I was a worker on one of those buses. Okay, I just had a download, like working on a doggy bus, transporting dogs, transporting spirits. That's literally what my job here is on Earth as a medium. Like, I'm not literally transporting spirits, but I'm talking to spirits. I'm helping them figure things out. Not that they need help from an external living person, like they can figure it out on their own. But yeah, that seems like a very significant thing that I've never thought of. By the place that I went to high school, and we were trying to get all of the dogs on, and then I saw my brother and I ran after him because he's not alive anymore. And while I was running after him, I caught him and I saw the flashlight just went off. Sorry, it's like scary for me even though I know it's my brother. Sorry, Kyle. Anyways, maybe that's his way of confirming. Sorry, that actually scared the shit out of me. I've never had him turn the flashlight on before. I shouldn't be scared, I know that, but anyways, so in the dream, basically what happened was my little brother, he ran across the road. This is traumatic and I apologize. He got hit by a car in the dream and I like fell to my knees and I'm like crying and I'm like hysterical and I'm not, like, even thinking about it makes me want to cry. And my older brother, who's on the other side, comes up and he's like, it's okay. Like, I will show you how spirit guides and loved ones and guardian angels watch over people. And basically he did like a whole Doctor Strange kind of thing with his hand. He rewinded time. So my little brother like came back on the grass. He like paused time, but let the car go first. Like, he was controlling everything. He was like rewinding my little brother, let the car go, then let my brother cross the road so my little brother could live. But I fully believe that. I believe on the other side, or if you want to call it heaven or whatever you believe the other side to be, if you believe in the other side, I believe that like there's no, like, time doesn't exist on the other side. That's just basic physics. Like, I don't know if you guys heard that, but that scared me. So all timelines are happening at the same time. Like, if you believe in reincarnation, I believe that I'm living my past life simultaneously as how I'm living this life. And I know that's hard to comprehend and it doesn't make sense. If there's a spirit in here who's not welcome, you are not allowed to be in my car. You're not allowed to be near me. You're not allowed to touch me or be around me. Please leave. Like, spirit can manipulate energies and like time to work to, sorry, I got a low battery warning, to guide you and to make sure that you're safe. And I know that doesn't make sense for things like losing someone you love, because it's like, why the fuck would that happen? Why would that benefit me? How would that benefit me? It really doesn't. But that's one of the things I'm still trying to figure out. Like, I believe, because I believe in spirit, I believe in the universe. To me, universe is God. I don't believe in like a man controlling everything. That's just my belief. Sorry, I'm seeing spirits. What was I even gonna say? Kyle, can you help me remind me what I was gonna say? Because I don't remember. Spirits, time, universe, simultaneously. Guide, spirit guides. Maybe I wasn't supposed to say it. The one thing I have learned from my brother is that we're not supposed to know everything about the other side until we're on the other side. Like, he has told me plenty of stuff in my dreams, and he's like, I'm sorry, I can only tell you in your dreams because you're meant to forget this as soon as you wake up. But let's move on to the next dream. There's this one dream where we were in this like weird, creepy little basement, and it was me and my little brother and my big brother, and we were like sitting at the end of the couch. Kyle wasn't able to verbally tell me what it was like on the other side, so we had like those yellow sticky notes, if you know what I'm talking about, and he would like write down what the other side was like, show me the sticky note, and then it would disappear, and I would write him questions, he would answer on the sticky note, and then it would disappear. But like, we had a pile of sticky notes, and I don't remember anything that was said in that dream at all. Like, I wasn't supposed to remember it. It's like our loved ones want to tell us what the other side is like, especially because he was so freshly passed. Like, he had so freshly passed. He was so eager to explain the other side to me. But, like, there's rules against that, apparently. Like, the other side isn't just free will. Like, there's rules that you have to follow, is what he told me. Like, he's not allowed to tell me anything. And that's it. And for example, I can go into that a little bit more. Excuse me. The other night, I had a dream that I was married to this woman. I'm queer, by the way. I was married to this woman, and we were gonna have kids together. That's all I'll say. And we were going back to visit my childhood home, which wasn't really my childhood home in my dream, but it served the purpose as that. And we were ghost hunting my childhood home, and I was reflecting on memories with my late biological father because he has just passed. And then my grandma comes in on my mom's side, and she's like, oh, like, my nephew died here, which I don't know if she actually had a nephew that passed away. I haven't actually wanted to ask her because her mom just passed. He basically was like telling me that all things exist on the other side. Like, you can't have good without bad, good and bad. Like, there has to be a balance. That's kind of what he was telling me. And then I remember I was talking to him through a spirit box. If you've seen my past videos, I have a red spirit box. It doesn't work anymore. But honestly, download from Spirit. I should try that spirit box. I'll try it when I get home. Okay, we're gonna do that right now. Sorry, I'm in my hood.
Scanning FM.
Still doesn't work. And he was like super chatty, and then I whipped out my camera and I'm like talking to him and I'm filming with my iPhone, and I'm like, what's it like passing away in this specific location? And he was like, I can't tell you that. And I was like, okay, well, that's fine, I respect that. What's it like being on the other side? What is the other side like? And immediately Spirit Box stopped working. He stopped communicating with me. I don't know if this is a real person. It might have just been like Kyle's way to try and tell me something about the other side as well. And when the Spirit Box shut off, I was like, okay, like, that's weird because I've been told that before. I've been told that I can't know about the other side in extent, and I can't know about what it's like fully to be passed. Kyle has told me, I had this dream where he was texting me after he passed, and he said it takes 8 hours to get my wings dipped. And I was like, the fuck are you talking about? Like, when I woke up, I was like searching if that term had ever been used before. I've been looking about angel wings. I was looking up angel wings getting dipped. I was looking up literally everything. Like, if that has been a term in a book before. I was deep diving and researching, and I couldn't find anything. And every time I would Google it, it would just show up hot wings. Love hot wings, but that wasn't the answer. And there's this medium that I used to like get coached on. I did a live reading at her show, which was terrifying. And I didn't do great because I was still like, that was still me when I was learning my mediumship. And so I went to that medium and I was like, my brother told me this and I don't know what it means. Have you ever heard this before? Like, you've been a medium for a couple decades. Do you know what this means? And she was like, one thing she told me about visitation dreams from loved ones is sometimes the only way to interpret them is literally, I just saw a spirit out this window, but in my phone right there. Interesting. Sorry. I just like closed my eyes to figure out like what the spirit is or who it is, and I saw fuck, I forget what kind of animal this is. Definitely not an animal native to where I'm from. I think it's native to like Australia maybe. Anyways, so I'm like, I go to this medium and I'm like, what does it mean to get for your wings to be dipped like within 8 hours? What does 8 hours to get my wings dipped mean? And she was like, think about it literally, like you're putting too much thought into interpreting this. That's why you're getting confused. That's why hot wings are coming up in your Google search. Like, think about it in the most simple way that you can. And I was like, okay, well, if we're going to translate that in a more simple way, getting like 8 hours is referring to a process of time. 8 hours is not quick. It's an amount of time that something needs to be done or it takes to be done. And I wouldn't refer to that as a quick amount of time, but it also depends on the situation. And wings, well, he's passed. When I think about like someone who's freshly passed or who's on the other side, and wings, I think of angel wings. I think of like a spirit. And she was like, exactly. So what he's trying to say is there's a process to going to the other side. It's not just like boom, dead, done. It's a process. And I asked him to explain that more in another dream. And he showed like a literal office setting where there's like a receptionist and there's like people in the office, and they help like acclimate you to your new life on the other side. And obviously it's not literally like that. I think he was just trying to explain it to me in a way that my human brain would understand, because I don't have memories of the other side and I haven't died. And when I asked him about it, I was like, okay, that makes sense. My human brain is understanding. Like, but are these office people that you know? Like people that have been part of our ancestry? Like, are these people that we are related to or were related to? And he said yes and no. He said, yes, there's ancestors that help you pass over, like my mom's dad, my grandpa. The office, the people that are helping you pass over are people that you've known in this life and other lives, and also like guardian angels and spirits. And if you believe in God, if you believe in Jesus, if you believe in any higher power, that's them. At least that's what was explained to me. So one thing he told me was, I won't get too personal because like this is a very personal thing I don't want to talk about on the internet, but before he first passed, I had a medical scare, and it was a scare to my fertility, but it was enough for me to be like, fuck, like I don't even have the option now. And I didn't know my mom was going to see a medium after he passed, but I told Kyle, like, if this is real, like if I can actually talk to you, if you exist in some sort of way and I'm not going insane and spirits exist, like show me a pink skateboard or something to do with a skateboard, but like something to do with a pink skateboard, and I could probably find the receipts for this. And so I didn't know my mom was seeing a medium. I think I went to work or something. I think I was working at a cafe at that time. And I came home and she's like, hey sweetheart, like I just want to show you something, like let's sit, let's talk. And she sent me the email because she typed everything out while she was listening to the medium. And the medium said two things about me. Basically, the medium said, Kyle says, don't worry about having children. That is possible for Sarah's future if that's what she wants. And then the medium said something about a skateboard or something about a pink skateboard. And I was like, no fucking way. And after that, I fully believed, like, there's no coincidence. I didn't tell anybody about the skateboard. That was just a conversation I had in my head directed to Kyle. I didn't tell my mom about that until the moment that she told me that the medium said that. After my mom saw that medium, I had a dream where I gave birth to twins, a boy and a girl, which is very probable. Twins run in my family on both sides. And I had a vivid dream about having a toddler, about 3, short red hair, like red hair, curly, blue eyes. And we were like dancing around together in a living room in a small house, and the sunlight was coming in, and it was like so cutely decorated, and it was just such a vivid dream. And ever since, I've like thought about that. And I've had so many dreams about that girl, and the boy that I give birth to. But yeah, like, and now when I'm like communicating with Kyle, I can feel that little girl come through. She visits me in my dreams all the time. Anyways, yeah, I'm just babbling. Sorry, I don't know if this makes sense, but I like looked to the left and I saw a man with sunglasses, but I can't quite make out who he is. Kyle, if that's you, can you turn the flashlight on? It's only gonna turn on that one time in the video. Sorry, I can see its reflection in my rear view mirror. Okay, if that wasn't Kyle, can you turn the flashlight on? If that wasn't my big brother, can you turn the flashlight on? Sorry, I don't feel good energy right now. If this is someone who is not related to me, can you please turn the flashlight on? I heard a tap in the back of my car. Okay, I know this is a man. If you're not related to me, you need to leave. You're not allowed in my car. You're not allowed near me. Please leave. You know what I don't like? I felt like it wasn't a nice energy, and now I'm seeing bugs all around my car. Look, I just have to reference. I have to go look at a TikTok to see if I've missed anything because I have a horrible memory. Guys, I cannot explain what just happened. My phone was here, it fell, stopped recording, I picked it up, and all of a sudden it was blurry. And I didn't even pick it up by my camera, I picked it up like here, which there's no camera right there. I'm sorry, I just like, that was so fucking weird. Something is messing with me. So. Anyways, back to the video. It is really hot in here. Yeah, I don't know what else to talk about. I guess I could like summarize what I've learned from spirits about the other side. Just going over like my old journal that I used when my brother first passed. Oops. Mediumship Oracle. I've learned spirit can take whatever form that they want once they're on the other side. They can come to you as an animal, as an insect, as a thought, as a feeling, as a dream. Like, they can come to you in any form. When my brother first passed, the only thing that we saw was blue butterflies all the time, following us whenever and wherever we went, which I find is really interesting and unique. That's part of the reason why I got a blue book when he first passed. Time doesn't exist on the other side for spirit. They can manipulate time because it exists for us, but it doesn't exist for them. They are working in all timelines. Like, one thing I've been told by my guides. Sorry, I have eczema on my eyes and it's so itchy. What the fuck was I going to say? Oh, one thing my guides have told me is that they're working in all timelines. Because time isn't real for them, they are guiding me right now. They're guiding little Sarah. They're guiding older Sarah. Like, they're guiding all timelines of you. For example, like, one of the ways, going back to like how he said they can present themselves as like multiple different things, that's why crows and ravens and corvids and magpies are so sacred for me and so like meaningful, because that's one of the ways that they guide me and that they present themselves to me as. Like, part of the reason why I felt so called earlier to go driving and like take photos of crows up in the trees is because I wanted to reconnect with spirit. I've been so unconnected with spirit. I know I mentioned that in my last video. I want to find ways to reconnect with my practice and my mediumship. And seeing a crow, like just driving and seeing a crow on the side of the road, solidifies to me that like spirit is always there. Like it's a reminder to me. So going out and seeking the crows kind of made me feel the same. Like for example, it is so hard for me to get a picture of a crow or a raven or a magpie. Like one time I found a magpie feather. That was the luckiest I've ever got. And today I was like, Spirit, you know what? I just want one thing. I want to go out and get a decent photo of a crow or a raven or a magpie. Like whatever you can do, whatever is easiest for you, I just want that to happen. And they made it happen. Like the way that I get most of my downloads is by having dreams. Like I had this dream, there's this girl, I went to the same school as her, and she passed away. And years later, way after graduation, I had a dream that she came to me and she was like, I want you to pass this message onto my friend, and I'll show you that this dream is real by showing you blue jays, like the bird, the blue jay bird, in the morning, which we don't see commonly where I'm from. Like they are native to here, but you just don't see them ever, at least where I'm living. And I woke up and I was like, okay, we'll see. Like I need to tell someone about this dream. So I told an old friend, and I was going to eat breakfast at this table, and there's the blue jays in my backyard. There's 2 blue jays, and I asked for blue jays in my dream last night. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you on the flip side.